I just finished playing 3 hours of Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and it makes me feel a lot of things. It makes me feel nostalgic, it makes me feel anticipation, but most of all, it makes me want to go fast. Mirror's Edge is all about movement. Running, dodging, jumping, sliding through thin corridors and wide-open rooftops. You're not just getting to your destination. You're improvising your direction and movements to the world around you. You're often pushed to get there in a certain amount of time, but it's not always about speed. There's an entirely different way to travel. And it's in style. Mirror's Edge focuses on one particular aspect of gameplay: player locomotion. For games about movement, fluid gameplay and tight controls are the key components to a player's sense of control and immersion. They fill in the illusion that we have stake in the experience at hand, that we can control the outcome, and as such, it makes or breaks our connection to the game. The feeling you get from stylistically moving from platform to platform or gracefully dodging enemies in succession is uniquely satisfying, and it deserves a bit more explanation. What causes us to believe that a game feels just right? That the player and the character are one in tow?
You probably thought to yourself after you finished a perfectly timed move that you got a good momentum going. Well, there's a strong association with momentum in games that focus on player locomotion.
Some of this is muscle memory, or motor learning, which is a form of procedural memory where you assign a specific motor task into a memory through repetition. Hence, if you're stuck on a platform in Super Meat Boy that requires a specific pattern of button presses at very specific times, they'll eventually program your fingers to execute precise button presses that result in you inching your way to the finish line. When you get everything just right, you become aware of how much momentum you've actually built up in your run. Games with combat, like Batman Arkham Asylum, will repeat particular patterns, encouraging you to learn specific maneuvers like evade or ground takedown, then allow you to link these patterns together in various ways to make the battle your own. In both of these examples, the player sees obstacles as visual puzzles and develops a rhythm so they can navigate with patience and precision.
But games about fluid locomotion are more than just the player. They're about environmental awareness and interaction, where the world in which the game takes place is more than just a backdrop.
Maps where you're encouraged to explore and experiment, where discovery is part of the fun. Design of the world should encourage you to travel to the same place in various ways, like when you get the light seeds in Prince of Persia, or look for shortcuts when you need to find all the tapes and letters in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Sometimes it's just exploring and experimenting to have a better understanding of the map than your opponents. Excellent level design encourages the player that there's more than just the fastest way, or the safest way, or the funnest way. The important thing is, there's not really a best way, just a way that fits your particular motivation, or your style.
An important aspect of fluid locomotion is control. I spent time in-game learning how to play, and I'm rewarded with skills. Not my character's skills, my skills.
There are a lot of games where you gotta spend points to unlock triple jumps, fast travel, a giant gun that's like really OP. But I'm talking about the player, the human, you, learning skills over time. I could give you the most upgraded car in Dirt Rally with all the weight reduction in the world, but you will not win that race if you can't drive. You have to spend time in-game working on your movement, your accuracy, your reactions in order to get further. Simply put, you gotta get good. Mirror's Edge Catalyst adds a skill tree for Faith, but you still have to practice the skills. It still takes precision to roll at the end of a jump. Getting better at a game through sheer skill feels infinitely better than just upgrading your character. The game is rewarding you for your hard work, not the amount of time that you played.
The original Mirror's Edge honed in on these key aspects of control. Control of the character, control of the environment, and control of the player's individual skill. Some 8 years later, we're getting a sequel.
Mirror's Edge Catalyst makes a lot of changes to the original game. Now there's an open map that allows you to choose between story and side missions and time trials, and Faith has those upgrades via the skill tree. These mechanics seem to be inspired by more recent open-world games. Ironically, games that might have been inspired by the original Mirror's Edge in the first place. So here we are full circle. A game that focused on fluid controls makes an impact on the games industry and then in turn adapts its own gameplay for a more open and interactive experience. But the core of the original game is still there. At the end of the day, you're just focusing on your movement, your momentum, nimbly maneuvering precarious environments with adept leaps over rooftops, taking routes for speed or style, or simply to feel the rush.
So I'm really looking forward to Mirror's Edge Catalyst. But we'll have to wait until the game comes out to see if it makes you feel like you're flying, or just falling, with style.